Hello, my fellow aspiring rational thinkers. I'm MrRationalThought, or at least I try to be. This week, I've decided to spend my 2 cents talking about one of the Christian inspirational films that seems to have the internet all abuzz as of late. For those of you who aren't psychic, which should be just about everyone, that film I'm thinking of is called God's Not Dead. For the sake of honesty, let me start by saying I have not gone to see the film, so this isn't a review of it per se. But frankly, I don't feel I need to actually watch the movie because I feel that, in a sense, I've already seen it. Let's start with the parts of the story shown to us in the trailer. We see a young college freshman named Josh, who's a Christian and is required to take a class which is taught by a big bad atheist professor who is notorious for making his classes about proving a point: God is dead. When Josh stands up for himself and his belief in a Christian God, the professor challenges him to a debate, the climax of which is an emotionally charged moment where Josh yells the question, "Why are you angry at God?" at his professor. It's not entirely clear how the debate ends, but considering this film is targeting Christians and the fact that the trailer ends with an upbeat Christian rock concert, I'd say it's probably safe to assume Josh carried the day. Some of you may remember an email from a few years ago that went around and led to several different variations of videos based on the email, and those videos went viral on YouTube, MySpace, and I think Facebook as well. In any case, these emails and videos told the supposedly true story that was said to have happened at USC, the University of Southern California. And it was about a young college freshman who was a Christian and was also required to take a philosophy class which was taught by a big bad atheist professor who was notorious for destroying his students' belief in gods. Sound familiar so far? Well, this story ends with the Christian student challenging his professor, to which the professor responds with a challenge of his own. He holds a piece of chalk out and declares, if there is a God, he'll prevent this piece of chalk from breaking when it hits the ground. The professor then drops the chalk and it, miraculously, hit his shoe and rolled off onto the ground unbroken, at which point, the big bad professor ran out of the classroom screaming, leaving his quote-unquote brave Christian student the remainder of the class time to proselytize to the 300 or so other students in the class. Despite the fact that this was said to be a true story, professors who have been teaching at USC for years stated that they don't remember any such thing ever happening. The details of this class, such as the 300 student-sized philosophy class that covers the existence of God, are inconsistent with any of the classes actually taught at USC, and the story itself seems to be a near-perfect match to an earlier fictional story that dates back to the 1920s. The only difference being that it's a chemistry professor with a glass beaker rather than a philosophy professor with a piece of chalk. So, in short, someone, or perhaps a group of people, deliberately plagiarized someone else's story, then lied and said it was a true story, and the culprit or culprits did so without any regard for the damage they may have caused to the reputation of a respected university. Then, millions more people either shared the viral video or worse still made their own version of it, thus perpetuating the lie, and did so without any thought as to whether the story was even true or not. On a side note, I'll wager these same people would probably have no problem asserting that if we didn't have religion to tell everyone what's right and wrong, people would just do whatever they want, and you can't have morals without God, and blah 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 blah. In any case, based on the trailer, I'd say God's Not Dead is merely another retelling of this story, only stretched out to about 2 hours. I'm sure it's also no doubt packed with strawman caricatures of atheists as emotionally damaged believers in a God who they're angry with for not preventing some tragedy in their lives, with plenty of emotional porn moments as filler, just like countless other movies I saw during my days as a theist. This certainly isn't an original story, but at least the people behind this latest version of it have the decency to present it as fiction. Although I suspect many people in the audience will be unaware that they are being presented with laughably inaccurate depictions of atheists, and will no doubt go on to make fools of themselves when they encounter real atheists in their everyday lives and decide to assume the role of Josh and play out the drama they saw in the movie, thinking that the emotional porn moments in the film actually taught them good apologetics. That's nothing new though. I'm sure every atheist out there has had that experience before. In any case, I won't be watching this movie for those reasons. But what about all of you? Will you watch this movie, or have you already? Why or why not? And if you already have seen it, what did you think? Until next time, have a happy doubt day.